Good evening and welcome to Falcon Update on YBTV. I'm PJ Rydell.
And I'm Chris Blakeman.
Messiah University began updating their COVID-19 dashboard on August 24th. As of today, Messiah has 26 active cases and 3 recovered cases. The on-campus vaccinated population has reached 71%. Messiah is encouraging all students to social distance and take their own precautions to protect the Messiah community.
The fall semester has brought some changes to the school's COVID policies. Let's go to Josh McLeaf for more information.
With very limited masking and social distance guidelines in place, the Messiah community came into the fall 2021 semester looking forward to a slightly more normal year. But on August 23rd, just a day before classes began, the university changed its masking policy and asked all students and staff to wear their mask in all university buildings, regardless of their vaccination status. Just over a week later, the university distributed KN95 masks to all students and employees in light of a spike of positive cases. The Messiah community is encouraged to wear these masks in larger group settings, including classes and chapels. University President Kim Phipps has given us some insight into the decision-making process behind the institution's COVID mitigation protocol decision-making process.
By the time we got through student leadership coming back and welcome week, we started to see 13 or 14 positives, and then when you do the contact tracing, there's 100 people we contact trace. That's when we made the really difficult decision, the day before classes, to say we're going to have to mask in classes. And I know for students that seemed like, you've got to be kidding me. So it would be about March 2020. As the Chief Executive Officer of the university, as the president, I pulled together a team that we call the Integration Response Team, IRT, where I thought it was important to have some key voices who would meet weekly and continue to monitor everything that was going on. I mean, obviously, even on our own campus, of course, we watch the spread very carefully. So the number of COVID cases, COVID positives, number of people that need to be in quarantine. And then we say, okay, what are issues that are coming on campus? So we want to be sure, again, that we are making every effort to care for students, but also to give them a good experience.
YBTV, I'm Josh McLeaf.
A breeder brought 12 Labradoodle puppies to campus on Saturday. Part of this was an initiative to help relieve some stress of students on campus. The puppies were available to hold, play with, and pet from 6 to 8 p.m. outside of the Union. Spirits were high, and stress was low at this puppy holding event.
Definitely such a relaxing experience, just being able to hold him. So perfect Saturday night activity, if you ask me.
The puppies were passed from person to person, so everyone got a chance to pet them.
Puppies were passed from person to person, so everyone got a share of the love. Students gathered their friends in neon gear for glow-in-the-dark dodgeball in Brubaker Gym, hosted by Messiah Wellness and Recreation. The event provided some friendly and unique competition for students, as opposed to the traditional dodgeball rules. The objective was to knock a ball off of several cones placed on each side. The first side to topple all the other side's cones was declared the winner. The interesting spin on the rules, combined with the glow-in-the-dark, made for a thrilling event. To add to the atmosphere, members from the Pulse kept the party going with music for viewers and players to enjoy.
Stay tuned for more Falcon Update after the break.
The new athletic training curriculum at Messiah College is a 5-year accelerated program that results in completion of a bachelor's in applied health science with a concentration in pre-athletic training and a master's of science in athletic training.
When I was introduced to the athletic training program at Messiah, I knew right away that it was going to be the right fit for me. There was just so much support and so much interest in me as an individual, and that community was really something special.
I think a student should be interested in studying this program, particularly at Messiah, largely because of the people that we have. Students are going to formally participate in case studies and case reviews, and there's also opportunities for collaboration with the faculty.
My friendship with the program director, Dr. Matt Lewis, has supported my journey as a Christian as an athletic trainer and as a scientist.
We are passionate about our students, and we're also passionate about the profession of athletic training.
You're watching YBTV live on YouTube. Check out our channel after the show for more great content from Messiah University.
It should be fun. I love s'mores.
Me too, especially on a campfire.
The best.
Golden brown.
We don't want our students to feel like they have to wait until they've graduated to start serving and meeting the needs of society. So we want students to have an opportunity to work on projects that meet real needs even while they're students in the program. Messiah students are exciting to work with because they understand that God has uniquely gifted them to do something, and they're excited to follow Him in that and to follow Him in their careers.
One of my best moments as a student here at Messiah was when I was traveling to Mexico with a collaboratory.
The collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world.
I learned so many amazing things about just cultural differences and how to adapt and work alongside, not just how to help someone else, but how to empower them to further their lives and also advance my academics in the process. So that is by far one of my favorite memories from Messiah.
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Welcome back to Falcon Update live on YBTV. Have you ever wondered what happens to the campus food that you can't stomach? Let's go to Josh McCleaf for a closer look at composting at Messiah.
We all have our own opinions on campus food, but what happens to the stuff that we just can't finish?
Luckily, Messiah's Office of Sustainability has a composting program that helps turn our leftovers from nasty to nutrients. Biodiversity Coordinator Savannah Beyer walked us through the composting process step by step.
They collect from the Union, the Falcon, Lottie, and the cafe in the library, and all of the food that's put onto the accumulator from like all the plates that we leave behind is put in the SOMAT machine, ground up, and then they collect that and take it out to the back 40 where the grounds people grind that up with leaves and other weeds from around campus. That ends up being turned into soil for the garden, which has more natural nutrients than buying soil from Lowe's or Home Depot. So all of our produce is used for market, and we have tomatoes, peppers, squash, zucchini, onions, okra, cucumbers, most of the things you can think of.
The Office of Sustainability has collected almost 2,000 pounds of organic waste so far this year, but they hope to see an overall increase in participation and awareness of their program.
I'd say the hardest part is making sure that you're actually doing something and like feeling like you're making a difference. Sometimes it can feel like if you're just doing like paperwork in here, you're not really out there like making a difference for the environment, but like everything that we do, we're eventually making a difference.
For YBTV, I'm Josh McCleaf.
Thanks, Josh. Here's Marie Miller with this week's campus calendar.
Welcome back to this week's campus calendar. I'm Marie Miller. Throughout the week, keep an eye out for fitness classes brought to you by the Falcon Fitness Center. They have a variety of classes ranging from weightlifting to Pilates. Additionally, the Logos Bible Study will be meeting Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday to study the book of Acts. Meetings are held every Wednesday, every Tuesday at 8 p.m., and every Wednesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Keep an eye out for student ministry events and chapel opportunities as well. Here's what's happening on Wednesday, September 22nd. Grab pizza with WebFX from 12 to 1 p.m. in Palmer Cinema at the Career and Professional Development Center's Pizza with Professionals. If you're planning on attending the CPDC's Into the City Nashville, applications are due that day by 5 p.m. as well. On Thursday, September 23rd, students from the Department of Theater and Dance and Peace and Conflict Studies will be hosting Art of Peace at Legacy Park from 4:30 to 5:30 in commemoration of the International Day of Peace. In addition to this, celebrate the International Day of Sign Language with the Sign Language Club in Boyer 335 from 6 to 7 p.m. The Swing Dance Club will be having lessons in room 204J of the Sports Center from 8:30 to 9:30. Sign-ups are required to attend. Get ready for Friday, August the 24th, because Lost Films is showing A Quiet Place in Parma Cinema with showings at 6 and 9 p.m. If you're looking for live music and free snacks, the Pulse is having a concert at the Union from 7 to 9 p.m. Help them welcome Messiah alum Dylan Lee Kalgoris of the band These Lands in celebration of the Pulse's 10th anniversary. Cost is free for all students. Lost Films will be showing A Quiet Place Part 2 at 3, 6, and 9 p.m. in Parma Cinema on Saturday the 25th. In addition to this, the Pulse is hosting workshops from 7 to 10 p.m. throughout the Union. Check out the radio department in the Pulse from 7 to 8 p.m. and write your own radio liner with sound effects and music. Visit the business and AV department upstairs in the Union for professional headshots and LinkedIn profile help from 7 to 8:30. Write some satirical articles with the writing department in the Pulse office from 8 to 9:15 p.m. and do a craft with the design team upstairs in the Union conference room from 8:30 to 10. That's all for this week's campus calendar. I'm Marie Miller.
What are you most excited about this semester? Let's go to Riley Williams for this week's Falcon on the Street.
Welcome back to this week's episode of Falcon on the Street. Today, we're going around asking people what they are most excited about for this upcoming semester.
So I'd say I'm most excited for getting to spend time with friends and being able to have a little bit more normalcy back on campus.
I'm most looking forward to just finally being in person because I was remote all last year.
I would say sleeping and soccer.
I think the thing I'm most excited about for this semester is just hanging out with friends, maybe with like a little less COVID restrictions. Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really excited about graduating this December.
Be sure to tune in next week to see more of Falcon on the Street. From YBTV, I'm Riley Williams.
Each week, we send one of our reporters out into the field to get an inside look at things happening at Messiah. I served as a liaison for Messiah's communication department for this week's Bird's Eye View. I'm PJ Rydell, and this week's Bird's Eye View goes behind the scenes of open house events here at Messiah University. Open house events like today have a lot of moving parts, as several different departments and sports teams bring in prospective students to show them a taste of what life at Messiah University is like. Today, we'll be focusing on the communication department, where I'll be speaking to a group of prospective students to try to get them involved here at Messiah. I'm here with Olivia Shields, a senior public relations major who's also going to be on the panel with me for today's communications department presentation. So Olivia, can you tell us a little bit about what your involvement is in events like this and why it's important?
Yeah, of course. So I come to the events just to talk to future students about what it is actually like to be in the communications department. So I talk about extracurriculars, classes, internships, any involvement even at Messiah. So I've talked about like other extracurriculars I'm involved in out of like the communications realm, but it's just to give the students a greater sense of what it's actually like to be a student. So I just talk to them about my experiences here.
Professors here, they're all extremely nice, are willing to work with you, but they're going to push you for sure because they know what they see potential and capability in every single one of us. Well, that just about covers our open house experience. For Bird's Eye View, I'm PJ Rydell.
That was really neat, PJ. Don't go anywhere. Falcon Update on YBTV. We'll be right back.
The nursing program at Messiah College prepared me in multiple ways. It really just helped me grow in my faith, first of all, but also in my vocation. I have found that adjusting to the work environment has been easier, and I feel that it was very much to do with Messiah College's nursing program.
The simulation labs here at Messiah, the ones that we used as students, are very comparable to the local hospitals.
My first job offer was here during a shadowing experience through the college. I interviewed and I pretty much got the job offer right there.
What I really like about Messiah students is that they look at nursing as a profession and a career, and they tend to do very, very well.
The fact that we are CCNE accredited says that we are engaged in effective educational practices. This means that the student who comes to Messiah College can be assured of receiving the highest quality nursing education, and that their degree will be recognized by top healthcare organizations and graduate programs.
A lot of the relationships that I have with my classmates are very, very special. Nursing can be challenging, and so it's very nice to have friends that know what you're going through. One thing at Messiah College which is really great is how the Christian faith is brought into almost every part of your college career. In a lot of the classes, you have sometimes a devotional, or it's integrated into the course curriculum somehow.
The faculty at Messiah cared for me as a learner and as a person. They poured time and energy into me and supported me in my troubles and shared in my successes.
Come visit, set up a time where you can meet up with a professor, sit in on a class. It's a great way to see what Messiah College is all about, and just an overall amazing experience.
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
Welcome back to Falcon Update, live on YBTV. Here's what's happening in the world of sports here at Messiah University.
Men's soccer kicked off their season in dramatic fashion. The men's soccer team capped a long weekend road trip and added 2 strong victories in the process. On Wednesday night, the Falcons dominated Dickinson College by a final of 6-1. And they did so quickly by scoring 5 of their 6 goals before halftime. On Saturday, the Falcons picked up where they left off, defeating Salisbury University 4-0. The game started as an even battle, but the Falcons exploded for an all 4 goals within the final 15 minutes of the game. The Falcons will return home to Shoemaker Field on Wednesday as they host Elizabethtown College.
The women's soccer team split the final 2 games of their road trip this past week. On Wednesday, the team fell in a tough defensive battle with McDaniel College, losing 1-0 for their first loss on the season. On Saturday, the Falcons got back on track, defeating Wilkes University 4-1 behind a 2-goal night for Rachel Turgeon. The Falcons will be back home this Tuesday night as they host Rutgers Camden at Shoemaker Field. Women's volleyball had a busy week on the road as well. On Tuesday night, the Falcons traveled to Widener University, where they would defeat Widener 3-1 over the weekend. The Falcons began the competition at Newman Tournament. The Falcons fell 3-0 in the first game versus Haverford College on Friday night. On Saturday, the Falcons defeated Cabrini University 3-2, and later in the day lost 3-1 to Newman University. The Falcons' next game will be Wednesday night versus York College at home in Hitchcock Arena.
For myself, PJ Rydell, and our other fantastic reporters, thank you for watching Falcon Update on YBTV. Stay tuned for a new show, YB Tonight, right after the break. No volleyball, I guess.
1977 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Breeches TV.
I'm Lily. I am a junior, and I am a broadcasting and media production major at Messiah. I chose to be a broadcasting and media production major because as a little girl, I dreamt of being a TV anchor. There are so many opportunities you can have as a broadcasting major. Messiah is really unique in the fact that we have our own TV station, and it's student-led, so each week we have Falcon Update, which is a half hour, and then we have MC Live, which is a half hour as well. My favorite part is just being in the hustle and bustle of everything, and I'm really excited to just be creative when I'm putting together news packages or shooting other stories, just really getting every element of storytelling in my work. So we have a lot of faith-based projects. Right now we're working on one, it's called Faith Sides for multimedia storytelling. In pairs we're interviewing each other for 2 minutes about some aspect of faith. A lot of students from our major either intern at ABC 27 or WGAL. I shadowed one of my professors at a Hershey Bears game. The Bears are a local AHL hockey team, and through that experience I developed connections and eventually I got a job there. So I run the Crossfire machine and the LEDs on game days. My freshman year at Messiah, when I first came, I knew absolutely nothing about broadcasting or media, and now I feel confident that I can go work at a TV news station.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes. I mean,
Right?
like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you?
From Messiah University in Grantham, Pennsylvania, here's your host, Jessica Suzauskis.
Good evening, Messiah, and welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm your host, Jessica Suzauskis. Thanks for watching tonight. We've got Julia Presley and Emily Eckert, members of the Student Chapel Planning Team, and Ethan Oates and Xavier Diaz from the Messiah Esports Team. Stay tuned for more YB Tonight.
My name is Natalie Moy. I'm a senior and I'm a digital media major.
I feel like the classes here have helped me to train my eye to detect good design. I like how the professors don't force you into one way of thinking. Instead, they allow you to be creative and think of projects in your own way, and they will guide you and help you envision your project to make it even better and stronger. I have this one professor who starts off his classes with prayers, and I feel like that's really great because it starts us off reminding us that we are creating something for God, so we have that in our minds to create something that He will be pleased with. In my portfolio, I have quite a large variety of works. I have design-based works, I have photography, I have videography. One of the big projects I will be expecting in my portfolio would be from the junior-senior film class that I'm taking this semester. I'll be the production designer for this short film, and I'm looking forward to work with my crew because they're all awesome people. Messiah has this media hub called The Pulse. So I've been working for them for the past few months, and you can do stuff like designing, photography, videography, at the radio station, and you can even design websites, write articles. I think it's a really great opportunity for me to get my work out there. I'm a designer, so people on campus or even off campus get to see what I do, and I think that's really great. So if you're a digital media student, you could go into computer science fields, or you could go into the film industries or graphic design. I guess it's the beauty of digital media. It's just so versatile.
Forests bring people together, feed the soul, and improve our well-being, cleaning the water we need, the air we breathe, and making our climate livable. Fires and natural disasters devastate our forests each year. That's why the Arbor Day Foundation is working to replant millions of trees across the country. Visit arborday.org and see how you can help.
You're watching YBTV.
Welcome back to YB Tonight. I'm here with Julia Presley and Emily Eckert, who are members of the Student Chapel Planning Team. Thanks for coming. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're good. Thank you so much for having us.
Wonderful. Now, before we continue, there's a video that introduces your roles on the team from our very own Josh McLeaf. Here it is. Looks like you all have a lot of fun with your work together. So now that we know the specific roles of your team, can you please go into more depth of what your roles entail?
Yeah, so my name is Julia Presley. I'm the chapel director. And then Emily, if you want to introduce.
Yeah, I'm the prayer coordinator for the chapel team.
And then we also have two members who aren't here today, Sydney White, who is our campus connections coordinator, and she handles, all of the different communicating with different departments and getting our guest speakers and all of that. And then we also have our missions outreach coordinator, Kayla Zerby, and so she deals with finding ways to incorporate the idea of missions through chapel on campus.
Wonderful. So why and how did you join your team?
So Student Ministries has a recruiting process where when at the end of the year they are finding people to fill the roles of students who are leaving, you can be recommended by someone in Student Ministries for a certain position, and then there's an interview process, and you kind of apply just for different roles, and you may fall into something you weren't expecting. Like I applied just to be a part of the team, and then became in a leadership position. And then Emily, I think, did you also apply to be on a part of the team? Or?
I applied just to be on student ministries in general and got pushed over to the chapel side of student min, so I'm happy where I am.
Yeah, I think applying for student ministries, you may not end up right where you expected, but it's always a really good opportunity to get involved on campus, and it's really great.
Great. So what's unique about a student-planned chapel compared to the other chapels that students attend?
I mean, I think there's always something really special about being led peer-to-peer. I think you can hear a message differently when it comes from somebody whose walk is pretty similar to yours. And so we really try to we're college students as well, so we're just teaching college students to college students, and there's nothing about us that really sets us apart. We just applied for the position, and so it's special to come to a chapel planned by people who are living basically the same life as you are in a sort of sense, like we're all Messiah students, so it's kind of just the goal of it.
Wonderful. So, Julia, you spoke at the most recent Student Plan Chapel. What behind the scenes work went into making that happen?
Yeah, so the chapel team meets twice a week for an hour to just discuss logistical things and also talk about, we all have different perspectives on campus. We're all involved in a lot of different things. Like Sydney White, who's a biology major, has a very different point of view than I, as a music and worship major, have. So we all kind of come together with our different points of view and talk about what we think campus needs to hear right now. Like, what are the ways that we can be the hands and feet of Jesus on campus, and what can we provide that people will really be served by. And so it's through these logistical meetings twice a week that we came up with what our theme is going to be, and then through that we're gonna, like, what worship we're gonna have and what our message is gonna be on. And so just this first one was one where I spoke, but we'll have a bunch of different speakers and ways you can hear from campus throughout the semester, not just maybe a speaker every time, but we'll have like a student panel one time, or we have a guest speaker tomorrow, so, or on Thursday. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, so what about the theme of reconciliation really spoke to you?
Yeah, we were told that the general theme of student mint and like on campus would be reconciliation, but we were given the freedom to kind of have like a sub theme for specifically Student Ministries Chapel. And so when we were getting together this summer, we were like talking about what reconciliation meant to us. And I think the idea floated around of why do we reconcile? We reconcile for the glory of God as believers. And so we were like, what a cool way to look at it, that this reconciliation is for beyond us, but it's for God's glory. And so we kind of took that theme and ran with it.
So Emily, you also, I understand that you're also on the Messiah Tech team. Does that, does chapel work overlap with your tech work often?
Well, it's actually funny. Julia's on the tech team too, and she trained me.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a full view, and I think we both do, of what chapel looks like. So setting up the stage and all the sound equipment the night before, and then coming the next day and running chapel is just a unique experience.
But does that happen like every week? Do you guys both be in charge of that?
I think usually the student mint chapels, we only have 5 for the semester that we're like taking leadership of, so we can work the other ones, and then we take those off. But we have like such amazing people on the team that are able to cover for us. So
okay, all right. So I know that the next student plan chapel is this Thursday. What can we expect to see?
I don't know. I don't want to give away too much. It's a kind of something we're pretty proud of. We worked a lot with the dance department, and I think that's all I can say.
Yeah, but yeah, if you are into performative arts, make sure to come out and we'll have something fun for you to see.
We don't get a little bit of it besides the dancing, no?
It's going to be pretty special.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right. So how can students get involved with ministry with chapel?
Yeah, so definitely just coming to chapel. I mean, I know it's something that you're required to attend, but I mean, you get to choose which chapels you get to go to. So I would consider coming out to Student Ministries chapels, connecting peer-to-peer with us, and just supporting us in that way. And also, like, apply to be part of chapel team next year. Well, there's turnover is like really great. Like, there's new faces all the time, so apply for that. And then also just get involved in student ministries in general. There's so many different avenues to get plugged into. So if you come to our chapels, you'll see we'll advertise different ways that you can plug in.
Wonderful. Once again, I'd like to thank Julia Presley and Emily Eckert for coming on tonight and talking with us. Coming up after the break, we have Ethan Oates and Xavier Diaz for the Messiah Esports team. Here on YB Tonight, don't go anywhere.
So people ask me what kind of companies hire electrical and computer engineers. Basically, if you plug it in or it has a battery in it, electrical engineers were involved. Every Messiah engineering student is guaranteed an internship with an on-campus organization called the Collaboratory. The Collaboratory's business model is that it pairs student teams with either faculty mentors or outside professionals to work on systems that either care for the earth or help disadvantaged people around the world. One of our more successful projects is a project that involves facilitating use of limited electric power called EMMS.
So I am the student project manager of the MMS team, and so what that means is that I head up a team of students and industry volunteers who are developing a system that makes it possible for schools and medical clinics to be able to efficiently share their limited solar power resources. Just the faculty and the way that they interact with the students to help them grow is such a powerful thing.
Hi there. You might wonder what a famous Hollywood celebrity like me is doing reading in the dark. Is this some new sort of Hollywood method acting? No, this is quite real.
Did you know that Americans use about 4 times as much energy per year as the global average? We waste energy left and right, despite the fact that the dirty fossil fuels we use to power our energy sources wreak havoc on the natural world and destroys valuable wildlife habitats.
By reading with my solar-powered night vision goggles, I'm saving energy and looking sleek.
You don't have to sit in the dark like Ed Begley Jr. to save the world. Fight climate change by speaking up for cleaner, smarter energy, including rooftop solar.
Oh, that's way better. Oh.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
You're watching Falcon Update live on Messiah University's Yellow Breeches Television.
YB Tonight, I'm your host, Jessica Sazoskas. I'm joined here with Ethan Oates and Xavier Diaz, members of Messiah Esports team. How are you guys doing this evening?
I'm good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking.
I'm good as well, yeah.
Great. So just like any other sports on campus, esports is consistently placing high in all sports collegiate competitions. Why do you think that is?
I would say work ethic, first of all. There's a lot of practice that is put in. A lot of the players are, in their free time, playing and trying to learn to get better and everything like that.
Yeah, it's definitely a consistent grind to be good at whatever you're doing. And like Xavier said, consistent practice time, working together as a team, and outside of the game, just making sure you have good communication and good synergy, and making sure you can work well together.
So I assume that both of you two practice playing League of Legends and Overwatch because you guys are on that team, right?
Correct.
How do you guys train for those games? Like what kind of prep do you do?
Well, I'm on the League of Legends team, so I just play whenever I can, whether it's on my own or with some of my teammates. I'm just always playing games, watching other people play, and just trying to get better every day.
What about you?
I'm on the Overwatch team, so what that usually entails is playing a couple of games and then watching yourself. I think a big thing about improving in whatever you do, like just sports in general, and you'll see football players do it, is watching yourself. So that's the same thing you do in video games as well to get better.
So by watching yourself, do you mean that you guys stream outside of esports? And if so, can we find you anywhere?
I do stream. I'm on twitch.tv/x22ow. And luckily for us, our games also have a replay system, so we can go back into the game specifically recorded by the company that makes the game and see a whole outside perspective as well, too, also.
Wow, okay, cool. So what's it like going into the tournaments and playing against other rival colleges?
Well, last year was my first experience with that, and it was really enjoyable. First because I've just never played video games at that high competition before. And just to know that I was right up there with the best that the country had to offer was really encouraging for me, motivated me to get even better. And I'm definitely looking forward to this year and seeing where we can go.
Yeah, so last year was the PA Cup, and I think both our teams got second in the state, which was very nice.
Congratulations.
And this year was the Hugh Fest, which brought in a lot more colleges. Illinois State was there. There was a bunch of different states that came in. So in this aspect, it was Overwatch team was playing a lot of probably the best teams in the country as well.
So how did you guys get into playing video games?
You want to go first?
Probably my friends. So in high school, my friend group that I founded from music were into video games. So from there, they just showed me a couple of the games they were playing, and Overwatch became the game that was just the thing that I always wanted to play usually.
PC, console,
or PC. I started console as just chilling with friends, and then when I met my friend group, they convinced me to go PC.
Yeah, my first game console was the Wii when I was a kid, playing games with my family and friends. Eventually, my brother introduced me to League of Legends, and I've been playing it for close to 10 years now, and it's become a really big part of my life socially. Made great friends playing it as well.
PC, console?
I prefer console games, but League is the only PC game I really play. So.
I'm a PC player.
Hey.
How have you been connected with your teammates through your time on this team?
So just like we'll go, first of all, we're always talking to each other, getting practice times, or talking about different strategies of things that we want to be playing in game. And then outside of that, we just try to get together when we can, just to chill and build like team chemistry, because that's always important in whatever team aspect you do.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's really important to have synergy outside of the game, and just in your normal lives, being friends is a really big part of how you work as a team in the game. When I came in last year as a freshman, I felt really accepted really quickly, became good friends with everyone on my team, and that really helped for me to get going really early in the process and integrate myself into the team easily.
Besides you two, how many other members of the esports team are there?
So we have 4 teams. So we have Overwatch, Hearthstone, League, and Rocket League. So I think Rocket League has maybe 5 people.
Yep.
League is probably at like 7, right?
Yep, 7 or 8, yeah.
So that's 12. Hearthstone has about 3 more, 15.
Yeah.
And then Overwatch is probably about 8 or 9.
So probably 20 to 25 people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So what is your response when people question the legitimacy of the esports?
Well, I enjoy answering this question because it took me even a long time to convince my parents that video games and esports was a real thing. And now, especially in 2021, they're really getting big, especially League of Legends worldwide. Tons and millions of people play it. And so in the physical sense, it's not as obviously demanding as football or basketball or anything like that. But there's a lot of mental practice and mental fortitude involved with it. To be able to work as a team is obviously really important, and to just be able to integrate yourself into part of a team, communicate together, and you practice just like any other sport you would. It's just not as physically demanding.
Yeah. First, to go on esports getting bigger, COVID obviously had a lot of help with that, because the fact that everyone was restricted inside, esports was an easy, accessible thing to watch and play and practice for. On top of that, when I was talking earlier about watching yourself and things like that, there are aspects that athletic teams do that you'll see esports players do. They're on higher end esports programs. There's things like workout routines that are like forced onto them, because even in esports you're supposed to have a healthy body and everything like that. So besides the fact that you're not running around or throwing a ball, there's still like physical demands that people running the program want you to go through as well.
What are the physical demands? And what do you use to like help you keep going whenever you have like a long playing practice or whatever?
So just eating healthy, first of all, is like a big thing, because when you have 4 to 5 hours of playing video games, you need to be healthy, because you'll get fatigue easier if you're not just having good nutrients and everything like that. On top of that, science has shown like heart rate and adrenaline goes the same amount that like a running football player would do, and things like that as well.
Yeah, for me, I'd say the most important thing for me has been moderation. When I first started playing, I was playing 10, 15 games a day, and it becomes really draining really quickly. And now I feel like it's really important to limit yourself. If you're not in a good headspace, if you're hungry, if you're tired, just stop playing and try again tomorrow. So it's important to not over push yourself, but you want to find that balance between getting better at the game consistently and maintaining your mental health.
Well, thank you for those tips for the fellow gamers out there. Lastly, we heard that you guys have a game coming up this Friday. Can you give us some more details?
Yeah, on twitch.tv/Messiah Esports. Friday night, 8 o'clock is our first official game of the season, so support would be appreciated.
Wonderful. We want to give a special thanks again to Ethan Oates and Xavier Diaz for coming on tonight. Another big thank you to Emily Eckert and Julia Presley for joining us earlier. We hope you enjoyed the show, and be sure to tune in next Monday and check out our YouTube channel and Instagram for previous campus news, interviews, and more. From all of us here at YBTV, thanks for watching and have a great night.